Hello. I read a lot, all sorts of stuff. I would even if I wasn't a librarian. I know you might not believe that, but it's true. I like to keep my head in the game. You know, I read the breaking news from the New York Times or whatever on this thing, and I browse the magazines and newspapers and funnel that information out to different people. And I also read stuff that I think I missed along the way that seems like if you're going to be an American or a person on the planet, you ought to have read for perspective and understanding. There's time for me to do that. And one book I'm reading now is called The Souls of Black Folk. It was written in 1903, 110 years ago, by W.E.B. DuBois, who was an intelligent, articulate black speaker and intellectual. Now, 1903 is only about 40 years after the Civil War, and he recounts what the status is of black people that time, and it's not good. It's appalling. It was surprisingly so. There are really no provisions for education, either K through 12 or certainly higher education. Tens of thousands were still tethered to the tenant farmer dead-end system of farming, which was, I mean, unimaginably hopeless. And you talk about a rut that you just cannot get out of, no matter how hard you try, and everything stacked against you. And underrepresented in government, and not only voting, but just who will represent me is someone I will put forth into a legislature. Just impossible. And in the midst of reading that, it was our own school election. And I see old and young, married, unmarried, with kids without coming to vote and have their role in the government. And also there was someone here registering people, young people, to vote. So if you were 18 and you wanted to register to vote in the local, state, and national elections, you could do that. And I'm encouraged and inspired by this book to remind sophomores who will be voting for their junior officers on June 1st, and anybody in school who's running for office to do that, to run for office, not just vote in your student elections, but run for office. Right now, most of the candidates in the sophomore class are running unopposed, and they're responsible, competent people that are running, but more people, I think, should run. It's a secret ballot. So when the time comes to vote, you can vote for whoever you want and no one will know. In the meantime, it says something about your class that 2 or 3 or 4 people run for one office. It says your head's already in the game and that you care. After election, that gives the officers dozens of people who they know already are committed to the class and may be good people to appoint as heads of committees. So get your head in the game. Let's take a nod from Mr. DuBois, that things weren't hopeless, that being empowered through elections and representation are important. It's important to the country and it's important to your class. So get out there, run for office, and certainly vote. For sophomores, it would be June 1st. Thanks.